this deal that we're talking about, we need $150,000 total to complete it. So 115,000 of that goes to purchase the property. Then the other 35,000 is to rehab the property, right? And then once the rehab is done, we're selling it at 210K. But if you present this to somebody, you're not asking them for money, you're presenting them an opportunity, and you tell them like, hey, I'll pay you 12% interest, on your money, because banks ain't doing you that. Banks are offering 0.0 nothing or 4 or 5%, some of them. Either way, it's not outpacing inflation. Inflation is 7-8%. So you're giving somebody opportunity. When you're raising money, don't ever beg for money. I'm bringing you the opportunity. So 150,000 at times 0.12 at 12%. What is that? I'll pull my calculator out real quick. That's 18,000, I think, for the year, right? But we're not going to be using that money for a whole year. We're only going to be rehabbing this project, let's say 4 months. By the time we fix it, list it, sell it, it'll take 4 months, because we ran our numbers conservative. We know for sure we could possibly get 220, but we're going to underlist ours, and it'll be the nicest house on a product. So that 18,000, if we were to borrow that 150 for the whole year, is what somebody would make. But now let's divide this by 12 really quick, so we know the monthly cost. So per month, that's $1,500 that this lender would be making, and then now we times that by the 4 months borrowed. What is that? $6,000. So this lender would make $6,000 on the $150,000 investment in 4 months. Let's say we offered them also 12% and 2 points. 1 point is 1% of the loan amount. So if we borrowed $100,000, that's $1,000 that they make just for doing a loan. If it's 2 points, it's 2% of $100,000. That's $2,000. So for this instance, 2% of 150 is 3,000. 3,000. So this is the 12%, return here, and this is the 2 points here. So that person would make $9,000 in 4 months for lending 150K. But then let's say you divide, if you want to know by weeks, you divide by 52. If you want to know per day what this person is making. So if for the whole year that person was going to make $18,000, if they lended the money and it took us 12 months, well, now we want to know per day. Well, there's 365 days in a year. 18,000 divided by 365 is $50 a year, or $50 per day. Let's just say $50 per day. You can run the calculator and figure it out, but it's probably going to be close to that. So toss me out a random ass number in the 200s or something, or the 100s, whatever.
200.
200?
Yeah.
200 days? Actually, I'm not going to tell you. Toss me out any random number.
85.
85. So, okay, let's say we borrowed that money for 85 days. And, we multiply that by $50 per day. 85 times 50 is $4,250 that person would make in 50 days. A lender probably spends 20 minutes total sending a wire or receiving a wire. They're secured by all kinds of documents. So very, very easy to be a lender, because the biggest people with the biggest money are banks, institutions, hedge funds, and all they do is they arbitrage other people's money. So that's kind of what we're doing. We're using other people's money to fund our deals, and we end up making $40,000 on this flip. But this lender made money and did none of the work. They didn't have to manage the contractors. They didn't have to find the property. They didn't have to talk to nobody. They're at the biggest and highest level of business, is being a lender, knowing how to make money with money. So you got any questions?
No.